Hey, thanks for joining us on today's live stream. Please consider this our gift to you, an exploration into the spiritual realm, the universal architecture of infinite possibilities. Here we teach, explore, experiment in order to share the secrets passed down from the masters. Okay, so that was a pretty rough start. Technology is wonderful when it works. All right, so let's get right into it. So, what is your perception of today's economic condition? Some perceive it as chaos and the end of life as they know it, while others see the current turmoil as the opportunity to move forward and to solidify their life in abundance. Which are you? And regardless of your answer, have you ever asked yourself, why do I feel this way? Why is my perception different from others when we're all experiencing the same events? If you see things as the end, what brought you to this conclusion? Is it the media? Probably not. Since most of the population absorbs the same content relatively in various forms and various iterations and with various conclusions, and also keeping in mind that media is all perception based. And we're going to get into that in a future live stream. And actually, we've done that in some of the past too. I think is live stream 4. Could it be a contagion? No, not what you're thinking. Could it be a contagion from a friend, from an associate, or a family member? Did you catch the bad news virus? After all, bad news, like gossip, travels at the speed of light. And society as a whole seems to love being the bearer of bad news. And the worst is, or the worse that the news is, the better. And if it's not bad enough, for some reason, they will exaggerate its intensity to fulfill their needs. And with all this to contend with, how does one keep their sanity? How can you stay in a mindful state and properly utilize this magic of abundance? What does it take to constantly stay in the eye of the storm, rather in all of that destructive chaos? Well, today's live stream explains the tools and the techniques for remaining mindful without having to live in a cave. So we demonstrate how perception is a key to be honed, as it's a way to keep you in abundance, in that abundance seeking mindset. If you haven't already done it though, we do suggest that you join our growing private community of people who are very serious about showing up to make a difference in their lives and the lives of those that they support. So we pinned a link in the comments for you to join our Facebook group called the Infinity Matrix. But before you get all click happy to join in yet another group, pause and ask yourself, how serious am I about making the commitment to mastering the art of designing my life? Because we only are interested in people who are action takers. Those of you who are really ready to implement what you learn and to learn from what you implement. If that's you, then come join us. Because this year we are turning up the heat and have a bunch of stuff in store for our private group and VIP members. So once you've accepted into the group, you'll get to mingle with over 8,000 current like-minded members. Plus, you'll get the opportunity to join our VIP list to get exclusive VIP out content and a lot of bonuses from time to time. So just check out that link and make sure you'll answer all 3 of the questions, because we won't be letting anyone in if they're not serious enough to answer just 3 simple questions. And there are relatively no exceptions. So check that out, link in the bottom. So when we talk about abundance through mindful manifesting, what do we mean? Well, we mean that what you are experiencing now is a group effort. Because for a group like you, gathering together from all around the world, abundance is the life that you are living right now. With this life that you're living, a law is in effect that you can't live your life without all of us here gaining from your own exposure to your life. When you look around, you have experiences and you revel with delight in many of them, while others you feel the sting of discomfort. So in every case, you are either cringing or celebrating that life, and we're all doing it with you. Do you realize that you are focusing an energy that is creating worlds, and it is an experience of co-creation? Thus, the sharing of your life with all of us. And that sharing is allowing each of us to participate in its creation and its collective involvement. We are so intertwined that when you feel bad, that's you interpreting the absence of us. Or as I like to say, a service interruption, like when you lose your internet connection. Connections lost, please stand by. And this happens by you understanding that everything has a vibrational frequency, and you need to understand that your manifestations will soon manifestate through those vibrational frequencies. So understand this, that before it manifests into your reality, you must achieve vibrational harmony with its frequency, understanding that abundance is matching vibrational frequency, while understanding you need to be tuned to that same right frequency. Only then will abundance and the act of abundance feel like ease, feel like the freedom of choice. It would feel like absolute clarity. That's what it feels like. So if abundance is something that is important to you, which I'm rather confident that it is, then take money out of the equation. Say what? Did he just say that? Yes, I did. Take it out. Because there is so much other abundance that is lavishly around you and that you can tune yourself into. Think of something else that you want, and then be it. And usually this falls into a handful of categories. So obviously you want money. I know that. Okay. But you also want love. You also want a really great place to live. And I'm sure you want a body that feels good and is healthy. Those are pretty much the top categories. So let's say that your dream is to find the love of your life. That isn't there yet. What does that love feel like? What does it feel like? What does being in love feel like? What does a lover feel like? Well, in most, but not all cases, it feels like a well-being. Feels like returning home, seeing mom, seeing dad. Feels like security, like appreciation and being appreciated. There is an ease about it. Feels natural, feels like desire. In other words, if you can get to the general vibration and the reason behind what you want, which is what and why we do or why you want it. Okay. Why do you want this thing? Now, here's the thing. Everything you asked for is coming, but you need to be clear about what you are really desiring. Again, to make it come to you faster, you need that absolute clarity. It's so important. Mindfulness gets you that clarity. It's understanding that you are the center of your reality and no one else's. This is when you're so attuned to the moment, to your now, and aware of and connected to all that is. To put it simply, you're at the top of your game. This is when you're directing and managing and influencing that which happens all around you. It doesn't come from a place of want or greed. It's not from a place of ego, nor from a place of power or control. It's simply um, a place of you, down deep, very, very deep. This is when you are in a mindset of absolute certainty, and you know that you are the most important thing in the universe. How does that feel? I know. A lot of you just can't handle that. You're thinking, how dare you? I am not. This is more important. That is more important. It's not what I was taught. It's not what my parents, my faith taught me. I know. Okay? I get it. I do. I understand that. Just bear with me. Because these things, these ideas and belief systems are more important to you because you have been conditioned to believe that. Conditioned to believe that your faith is more important. You have been conditioned to believe that your children are more important, your spouse, your job, your country, all of it. And to our delight, you've also been conditioned to believe that you must be humble and in service of others, of which we are and do believe is the key credence guiding all human beings as a whole. To live like this does not mean that you will or have to be perceived as in a life other than what you want. You don't necessarily have to be perceived as an egotistical jerk or a self-centered narcissistic blankety blank, because those who are like that will eventually fall, because they are simply creating a facade of themselves, an artificial impression, a synthetic imitation, an empty perception as opposed to who you are and always will be and who you must be, the most important being in your universe. You must understand this. Regardless of any of that, you must be at the center. You must be the focal point of your universe, your reality. And from there, all of these things that I mentioned will become that which is the most important to you, because they are in your reality because you brought them into it. So they must be important, but still not more important than you, because they're here because of you. And without you, they would not exist as they do now. Yeah, I know. This is very, very different thinking. It's a way of thinking that you can, you can either accept it or not accept it. That is your choice. That's the beauty of everything that we do, everything that we teach. You always have a choice. We just happen to call it the choice convergence point, where everything meets. And from there, you have the opportunity to pause and weigh things out. On the last couple of live streams, we talked about the confusion of frequency and what it feels like, as opposed to what it looks like. What does it feel like? So, for example, what does the vibration of security feel like? What does the feeling of returning home and having a homecoming, what does that feel like? What does the feeling of empowerment feel like? I mean, seriously, what does it really, really feel like? And as if you pose those questions to yourself as you move through your reality, you come across inklings of those feelings, learning the nuances, the details, the essence. And then after you have begun learning, you acknowledge that you want to be those feelings. You learn more about how to incorporate them into your existence. Then they will begin to stand out in a more vivid way, and you will revel in the emotion of that moment. This is choosing the feelings, practicing the frequency until the clarity of those feelings comes easily. As choosing those feelings comes easier and easier, it causes the infinity matrix to respond with, oh, you feel like that. Here's a little more. Or, oh, that makes you feel bad? Huh, here's a little more. No problem. Whatever you serve up, we will serve back. Always bringing you a reflection of how you're feeling, showing it to you so you can make the choice. Whether it sucks, whether it makes you feel awful, you pause and ask, how can I feel differently than this? How can I gain control of the way I feel in this situation? And then you change it. Pretty cool. Now, how do I know that manifesting is working? Well, like you, I look around. I look all over the place. I look around as a whole, not looking at the microcosm. You're going to be looking at the macrocosm as a whole. Humanity as a whole has made great strides, and those strides have been made for the betterment. We have better medicine, we have better technology, we have better food, we have more food, we have less illness. I mean, look, we have this technology and more information at our fingertips. I mean, it's in your pocket. It's here. I'm being projected to you because of how we as a species have advanced. And yes, we're becoming more mindful, more spiritual, more loving, more caring. You just don't hear about those things, but you do believe in them. So there are people who manipulate some of these benefits. And again, they will ultimately fall away. But at the same time, some of these people started in mindfulness. They started with a good idea, a good heart. They started with the idea of helping humanity. And sometimes things just get away from them and they grow too big, too fast, whatever the case may be. And I say all this because I believe that Martin Luther King Jr. was right. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And what we propose is to see the world through different eyes, removing some of the filters that have been placed upon your vision, in front of your vision, around your vision. Filters that can be very powerful. They can hide, they can blind, they can change, morph, manipulate because of the belief systems that influence them. Many of our students almost immediately start to view their reality differently because they learn how to understand the mind, its foundational framework, and the effect it has upon you and your actions. They say, well, I don't like that part. Well, I think I'll change it. And they change it because they realized, they identified their filters and what they were and simply removed them, turned them off because they were showing them an alternate reality, something different that someone else wanted them to perceive. And mostly this isn't done out of malice. It's mostly done out of love. When we go deeply into this very dark cave in our 5-day challenges, and we'll be posting things about that coming up here pretty soon. So it's like this. Have you ever had that epiphany that it's not them, it's me? Ever had that moment when things just keep kind of happening to you? And you're just like, this just sucks. Oh man, I'm telling you, this just sucks. What? Again? This sucks. Why does this keep happening to me? Why does this kind of person or this type of event continually keep popping into my life? Well, perhaps it's not them. Perhaps it's you. Perhaps that epiphany is a lesson that it took that much repetition, that many synchronicities for you to finally get. It's me. And now I understand because I see where this is going. I took away a layer that I placed on that person. I placed this layer, this filter, I put it there. No one else could do that. I did it. You did it. And just as you have the ability to invent and manipulate or add layers, that perception, that piece of the perception to that person or to that event, you have the ability to remove it. You have the power to do that. You have the permission to not live under other people's rules. You now have that. And it comes away just as fast as it was created by you. So with all this in mind, let's get back to our question. What is mindfulness? Well, it's a mental state of awareness that involves paying attention to the present moment with an openness and a curiosity and non-judgment. Because judgment is a filter that I was speaking about earlier. It involves being fully present and engaged in whatever is happening in the moment without getting caught up in thoughts or distractions about the past or the future. Filters. Mindfulness can be cultivated through various practices such as meditation and breathing exercises and mindful activities. It has been shown to have numerous effects and benefits for mental and physical health, including reducing stress, reducing anxiety, improving your emotional regulation so you don't have those swings every single day, and enhancing your overall well-being. So there's 3 effective ways to start practicing mindfulness. 1 is meditation. I'm sure you've all heard this, and I'm sure many of you practice it. And there's all different types of meditation. So don't get turned off. If it's new to you, don't get turned off by one. Find the one that works for you. Find it. There's so many more. There's so many different types of yogas and such like that. Because meditation, it helps calm the mind and focus your attention on the present moment. You can start with just a few minutes of meditation per day and then gradually increase the time as you become more comfortable. But give it a chance. It really does work. There's some great tools out there too. And then number two, you have mindful breathing. Mindful breathing is another effective way to create mindfulness. Simply focusing your attention on your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice the sensation of the air moving in and the air moving out of your body. If your mind wanders, just gently just bring it back. You didn't fail. It's part of the process. Just in and out. And then number three is mindful activities. Practicing mindfulness in everyday activities can also be a great way to create mindfulness. And for example, you can practice mindfulness while washing the dishes by focusing your attention on the sensations of the water and the soap in the dishes, and the smoothness, or how you get that stickiness when they're really, really clean. I mean, you just notice this stuff, okay? And it actually starts to become kind of fun because you're just focused on it. My favorite mindfulness activity is gardening. I just get lost. I am grounded. I wear only gloves when I'm carrying rocks or something like that. Otherwise, I want flesh to dirt. I want that grounding effect and such. But I am so aware when I'm planting plants, when I'm removing plants. I'm so aware of the dirt. Yes, I do talk to my plants. Okay. Neighbors thought it was a little weird at first, but they got used to it. I think they're talking to it now, but they whisper. Anyhow, but find that practice that you like. I know guys that it's working on their cars. They will be out in the garage for hours. They're just in the zone. Artists, painters, sculptors. All of this is all parts of being mindfulness. So find out what works best for you. Turn off those filters. So, what does mindfulness have to do with abundance, you ask? Well, abundance in its many forms is all around you. Mindfulness gets you clarity of what's all around you. It puts you in a state of mind that allows the synchronicities that have already been happening all the time to finally be seen, identified, and interpreted and acted upon. That's how the two of them come together. Your mind is clear, your vision is clear, your filters are gone, and you can just fricking see the stuff that has always been there. You can see opportunities. You'll see those coins on the ground, or you'll see that dollar bill sitting on the ground, or you'll see that person who has been there for months or years that is actually could be a phenomenal resource for you because you took off your filters like, oh, that's a nice person. I thought they were this when they're actually that. That's what mindfulness does for you. It's wonderful. It really is. And I hope you try it. And I hope that you will let us know a month from now, a day from now, how it's working. And of course, as Gary and I have always said, you are more than welcome to contact us directly. Use the comment sections of whatever platform you're seeing this on, and we always get back to them. So please do. All right. So that's it for everyone today. I greatly appreciate everyone being here. We appreciate you showing up and are deeply, deeply grateful for your participation. Remember that you can join our private group through the links that are pinned to the top or bottom of whatever platform this is, and you can catch all of our previous live streams on our YouTube platform. You can just put in @Infinity Matrix, and it will take you directly to our channel. And remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so then you'll know when other things are popping up. And again, I just really want to thank you for coming in. My name is Ross Armstrong. My partner Gary Johnson was not on this live stream. Unfortunately, he was a little ill today, so he just kind of lost his voice. But we'll be back next week with another Hacking the Infinity Matrix. And we stream every Thursday. And we stream on Facebook at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then generally the same stream will end up on YouTube on the following Saturday. And again, thanks. I hope that we brought value into your life. And until next time, we dare you to be exceptional. And the only way to do that is implement what you learn and learn from what you implement. Till next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
So we truly hope you enjoyed this latest live stream. Each week, we bring you the best in cutting-edge techniques and processes to help you better yourself and create the reality you desire. In order to stay notified for more live streams like this, as well as any upcoming interviews, master labs, or time clips, be sure to click the like button and ring that bell. As a matter of fact, you might be ready to step things up for yourself. You see, everything and everyone you've been exposed to in our live streams all have one thing in common. They've harnessed their own potential, claimed their badass self, raised their game, and leveled up. Whether it be in business, personal, romantic, for whatever dimension of life you choose, there's always a next level. So we encourage you to rekindle your passion, your purpose, and spirit, and step it up, and register for our next free 5-day badass challenge. The link is below, and we are excited to see you take a leap into a new reality that only you can imagine.